I paused my Stranger Things episode to film this, and I hate getting spoilers. I think you can even see it in the reflection right here. Stranger Things. So you better watch this video. Hi. Today I'm talking about the 26 books that I really, really want to read in 2026. I don't think I've ever done a video like this before, but I saw a bunch of other people doing it and it seemed fun. Also, I have a concerning number of books in my physical TBR, or like the books that I own that I haven't yet read. And I would just like to get through them. So why not pick out 26 that I definitely want to read? So, in no particular order, let me just go through these books. So, the first 4 books that I would like to read in 2026 are the Raven Boys series. So, hold on. So, they are in order: The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and The Raven King. And I like to jump into series without knowing too much about them, but I'm also kind of good at guessing when I'm gonna like a particular book or a particular series. And I know that there are ghosts in this. I know that it's set in like a foggy, cold, wintry place, season. I don't know. But that's all I know about these books. And from the random Tumblr quotes that I come across in web weaving posts, I am sure that I'm going to enjoy and love this series. I have no idea, honestly, why I haven't been able to pick these up. I feel like it's the commitment to reading 4 books at once that throws me off every single time. But I think 2026 has to be it. It absolutely has to be the year when I finally read these. So the next couple of books that I definitely want to read in 2026 are Prisoner's Throne and The Stolen Heir, which are, this is a duology that is set in the Cruel Prince universe. Um, they sit right here. You can see the gap where I pulled the books out from. So I really wanted to read these, but when The Stolen Heir came out and there was a year-long wait to The Prisoner's Throne, I was like, I don't want to pick up one book, read it isolated, and then not pick up the other one for another year. So I waited, and then it was too long, and by the time the book came to me, I was reading some other books, and I kept putting it off again and again and again, but I really, really do want to read this duology. Honestly, I feel like I might do a reread of the whole Cruel Prince universe, like the original trilogy, the um what's that book, hold on, Why the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories, which is shelved right here, this white book, this one. So I might read all 4 of those and then these 2, but for this list I'm just going to count these 2 books because I haven't read them yet. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a whole reread, even though I really want to. So these 2, that makes it 6 books. So the next 3 books that I would like to pick up are these. So I've already read Little Thieves. I read this when it was a standalone. And actually, I picked this up because it was a standalone. And by the time I got around to it, and just as I finished reading it, I opened Instagram. And within the first few days of me following Margaret Owen, this became a trilogy. And so I've been waiting and waiting. And also, these books are not being reprinted locally. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about publishing. Some books are reprinted locally in India. You can see, you might have seen, they have the label that for sale only in the Indian subcontinent, or maybe like for sale in India, Bangladesh, and something. So those books are more affordable, and those are the books that we generally all buy. However, some books are imported into the country because maybe they think that the right audience is not here, or for whatever reason. Like, I saw this happen, or it is happening, with the Gideon the Ninth series, the Locked Tomb series as well. I cannot get my hands on a copy of Nona the Ninth that does not like cost as much as 5-6 books would. So these are imported editions, and I have like been checking and rechecking the Amazon pages for so freaking long. However, a friend of mine gifted me Holy Terrors because they were not sure if I had or had not ordered Painted Devils yet, but I was basically talking their ear off clearly. Every time I would go and check on the prices of these books. So I was gifted this one, and so immediately I knew whatever price this second book was at, I was gonna buy it, and I did. And now I can read these. And there's also this series called The Fallow Year, which is a collection of 12 short stories, which is set after the second book, which was released online. So now I can go and I'll do a reread of Little Thieves, then I'll read Painted Devils, then I'll read The Fallow Year online, and then I'm gonna read Holy Terrors. And I am so excited because I really, really, really love this book, this particular book. So I'm gonna put these down now. These are heavy. I hope you guys are keeping count of how many books this has been, okay? The next few books that I want to read again is a series. It's the Last Hours series by Cassandra Clare. Yes, I have read most, if not all, of the Shadowhunter universe, and I did enjoy it. I did. Okay, story time. When I was in school, if you're an Indian, you'll understand this pretty easily. Once I came into ninth and 10th class, I was instructed by basically my entire family to stop reading for a few years, because if I work hard in those 4 years, then that's all it will take, and my life will be perfect. And aishi aish hai, biggest fucking scam. Anyway, so I was told to even stop reading books, and then and I might have resisted, but I was a child. It's not like I had my own money to go and buy more books and read them. So, other than the occasional book or two, I stopped reading for basically 4 years. And then, uh, when I was in college, I got the entire Shadowhunters 6 book set and I read it. And it was the first time I was staying up at night to read a book. I stayed up till like 4 a.m. And there's a very specific plot twist in one of the first or second Shadowhunter books. I think if you've read them, you know what I'm talking about. And that plot line was absolutely unnecessary. But I stayed up, I read it, and I was like, I tossed the book across the floor, dude. Now hold on. If you want to know how my day is going, I just recorded the rest of this video and then I realized that my microphone was off. So there's that. It's on now, right? Yep, it's on. Okay, let's do this one more time. Continuing the theme of the Shadowhunters universe, the next 2 books that I want to pick up in 2026 are going to be The Red Scrolls of Magic and The Lost Book of the White. Now, I did not remember much about these. I still do not remember much about these books, but I know that these are like Magnus Payne and Alec Lightwood going on some sort of adventure. So I thought that The Lost Book of the White was actually the first book. It is not. It is the second book in this series. So I owned this one first. And then for like a couple of years, I kept on looking for The Red Scrolls of Magic and I could not find it anywhere. I even had friends and family looking out for this book. And once I got it, I'd already like started getting the copies of the Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns series, the Last Hours series. That book is right there. Sometimes I point to the books. And I thought, why not read them all together? And I didn't pick that up. I didn't pick this up. Here we are. So now I'll be picking these up in 2026. The next series that I would like to pick up in 2026 is the Emily Weil series, which includes Emily Weil's Encyclopedia of Fairies, Emily Weil's Map of the Otherlands, and Emily Weil's Compendium of Lost Tales. So I don't really know that much about these books because I feel like I'm gonna love them no matter what, and I just want to dive into these. So these are look at the foiling on this one. I am so obsessed. This is the one that I've had the longest, obviously. And then I got the second one. I looked for this at the book fair everywhere. And someone at the book fair literally told me to go and look it up on Amazon, which was so annoying. And I've already ranted about this in my book fair vlog / video earlier this year. But I'm still salty about it, okay? And then the Compendium of Lost Tales, it was just so expensive online because it was being imported. And I waited and I waited and I bought it still at a very overpriced rate. But I got my hands on it and now I can read the entire trilogy. And I'm really, really excited. So this is a cozy fantasy. And I'm not even going to go look at the synopsis of this, but I like fairies. Um, I like cozy fantasies, and there is so much going on in the world at all times now. There's always informational overload. Every single person is overworked and overwhelmed all the time. So, according to me, cozy fantasies and cozy media definitely have their place in the world, and I adore them. I do. So, looking forward to this trilogy. The next books that I want to read are The Priory of the Orange Tree, A Day of Fallen Night. And I just found out recently that there's another book in this universe, and it's called Among the Burning Flowers. So, The Priory of the Orange Tree was published first, and then we got A Day of Fallen Night, although this is a prequel. And if I'm not wrong, then the newest book is set between these two. So, that is going to be interesting. I was actually like this close to picking up these books this year itself. Like they were on my TBR and everything. And then I found out about the publication of the new book, and I was like, okay, I'll wait until I can read all of them together. And here we are. And these books are gigantic. Like this book is definitely like this is heavy, okay? This is heavy, it is big, it's she's thick, but this is huge. This is like how certain things are described in um, romance books. Like I cannot get my hands around it and the length and everything. I don't know why I thought of that. I don't know. Anyway, and generally, if someone's breaking into my house, I'm rushing to grab this. I'm rushing over to my bookshelf first because, like, one conk on the head with this and intruders out. They're done for. So anyway, these three books. I don't have the third one yet, but I'm gonna hopefully grab it at the book fair this year. And the next two books that I would like to pick up in 2026 are The House by the Cerulean Sea and Somewhere Beyond the Sea. So, The House by the Cerulean Sea is like this cozy little cute little fantasy about an orphanage full of magical children, and there's this guy who goes there and he does a lot of emotional growing. There's a lot more to this book, but I would suggest that you check it out because I have a lot to say. Okay, first of all, I really loved this book. I enjoyed it. I tabbed it thoroughly. I back then used to not like highlight or write in books, so it's not exactly annotated, but the tabbing. And I also vividly remember that I cried when I finished this book. I have a soft spot for children because they're so helpless. They're just learning to navigate the world, and sometimes people let them down so much, like the adults in their lives, and it's so heartbreaking. And like, yeah, children terrify me, but not for the reasons that you would think. But anyway, so I would like to do a reread of this because earlier this year I got Somewhere Beyond the Sea, which is the sequel to House by the Cerulean Sea. Now, this follows Arthur Parnassus, and like I think some things about his past are going to come up. He is the caretaker of the orphanage in this book, and I'm really, really like eager to read this. Would I have been like really anticipating the emotional journey that this book is going to take me on, and if it is anything like the first one, I think I can already rate this a 5-star book, right? So second reread, but yeah, this duology next year. So I think that that's all the series that I want to read in 2026. And if my math is right, you can check me. I won't mind. That's 22 books. So the 23rd book that I would like to read in 2026 is What Will People Think? Actually, I would love to read it in 2025 itself, but with the sheer number of books that I'm trying to finish by the end of the year, today is 26th, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31st. I've got 5 days left in the year, and I'm trying to finish like 6 books. I could do 5 books, but I cannot do 6 books. And realistically, I cannot even do 5 books anymore. That would mean reading every single day, all day, for all 5 days. So, yeah, I would like to read What Will People Think next year. This is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, which is set in 1970s Mumbai, which is so cool. That sounds so cool. I want to read it. So hopefully in the beginning of next year, or maybe for like a change in genre between all these fantasy series that I'm going to be reading, I'm going to pick this one up. The rest of the books on this list are going to be books that I don't own yet, that I'm really, really like excited to purchase. So the 24th book that I want to try and read next year is going to be Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I really enjoy her writing. I own almost every book that she's put out. I own 3 copies. Why do I own 3 copies? But I own 3 copies of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue because I just enjoyed it so much. I have a hardcover, I've got a paperback. The paperback was supposed to be a different edition than the hardcover, but they sent me an edition. And then when I tried to raise my concern, they told me to shut my mouth because this edition was 50 rupees more pricier, costlier, and they did not upcharge me for it. Dude, I ordered it because I wanted a particular edition anyway. I'm getting too worked up about this. And then and then of course I've got the 1 year anniversary edition. That's too many editions, Priyanshi. That is too many editions, even if I'm a collector of sorts. But yeah, I really enjoy V. Schwab's writing, and Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil sounds like a book that I would love to devour. I know that she's also coming out with Victorious, which is supposed to be the final book or like the third book in the Vicious and Vengeful series. I read both Vicious and Vengeful just a couple of months ago, and I would be really excited to read that as well. But since we do not have a publication date yet, or like it's tentative, I believe, we don't even have a cover yet. So I'm not going to talk about that book here or put it on my list. But yeah, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil is going on my list. Next up is Happy Place by Emily Henry. So I read my first Emily Henry book, People We Meet on Vacation, last year. I really liked it. Oh, also there's the People We Meet on Vacation movie coming out in January. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm really excited, okay? Right. So I read People We Meet on Vacation last year, and then this year I read, I believe, 3 of her books. I read Funny Story, I read Book Lovers, and I just finished reading Beach Read. And I love her writing. I enjoy it. I used to not be a romance reader, and I wouldn't even classify her books as strictly romance, but I love them. I like them. I like those books. This is fun. This I really enjoy them. I don't know why I'm trying to justify this so much. I enjoy them and I enjoy them. And I was going through her publication backlist, the list of books that she's published, and I saw Happy Place, and I saw the synopsis. I think it's about like this couple who broke up, but they haven't told anyone yet. They haven't told their friends or anybody. And then there's like this big get together, and I'm not sure if it was just friends or just family, or if it was like friends and family. But there's this get together, and so as to not make anything awkward, they don't tell anybody that they've broken up. So they have to keep on pretending that they're in a relationship all throughout the thing. And that's so goofy. That's really goofy. I want to read it. So hopefully at the upcoming book fair, I'm going to go and get this one and read it. And finally, the last book on my list is Cold Wire by Chloe Gong. She is one of my favorite authors. I have read the entire like Shanghai, Secret Shanghai, Fantasy Shanghai universe. These violent delights are violent ends. Foul Lady Fortune, and what's the other one? Hold on. Foul Heart Huntsman, and I also have that little novella. I don't remember. Last Violent Call, and I've read the Roma Juliet Christmas special. I do have the 2 books from the Immortal Longing series that have been released, but I was waiting for the third one, and then Cold Wire is coming out, and that is also a trilogy, but I want to read it. I don't know why. I want to read it. All those people became an employee of her fake corporation online, and I missed out on that. So now at least I want to read the book. So the final book that I'm hoping to read in 2026 is going to be Cold Wire by Chloe Gong. So that's a lot of books. Making this list itself took a lot of time that I could have spent finishing Stranger Things. I've got one episode left, and then the finale will air on 1st of January. I live in India, so it's gonna be released the next day because y'all Americans are slow. So I have to wait more. Anyway, even the current season, today is not Christmas, today is 26th, and it came out. As I was saying, the current, not the season, the volume, the whatever, these 3 episodes they came out this morning. You guys, you slow ass people, you got me so worked up that I accidentally knocked my mic off. This is to the Americans. Please take me very personally. What is this behavior? Be on time. And I wouldn't even mind you guys releasing it on Australian time or something. I'll watch it early, dude. I don't care. But we gotta wait for you all. That's silly. Okay, that mini rant aside, like I'm gonna now go and watch that episode before I edit this video. But hope you guys liked watching this. What are some books that are on your radar for next year? Please let me know. Please talk about these books to me. If you've read any of these books, let me know how it goes. If anybody has like a copy of these books that they have taken out of the packaging, like how many pages is this? I am scared. I'm worried that this is going to be 800 to 1000 pages, not just this one but also the Priory of the Orange Tree. Looks like it could be 6 to 800 pages at least. And that is terrifying, honestly. I used to devour books when I was a kid, but now it takes me some time. I started reading Percy Jackson last night, and I've only read like 127 pages. To be fair, I did not read it at all today, but that is slow. I thought I would be done with that book in a few hours. So yeah, talk to me about books. Tell me what's going on. What other end of the year things are you guys up to? Let me know. And if you watched all the way through, I love you. This is me giving you a hug. See you.